Hi there, this is Stuart Constable, the co-founder of the Centre for Inspired Leadership. I wanted to create this quick video for you to show you around the inside of the Inspire Student Leadership Development Program. That way, should you decide to subscribe your school and your school leaders to the program, you have somewhat of an idea of what's inside the program, and in particular, the curriculum once you log into the Leadership Development Program. So let's get started. And what you're looking at now is my computer screen after I have logged into the Inspire Student Leadership Development Program. Now, the first thing to highlight is that once you log into the program, you will be taken directly to the curriculum, which is what you're looking at right now. Now, there's a couple of things that I'd like to highlight about what's on the screen. Firstly, what you have on this side of the screen is simply the logo for the Student Leadership Development Program and the name of that written down there. You'll then see a course curriculum heading, and it's asking you to start the next lecture. In this program, we have broken it up into a series of modules, and inside each of those modules is a workbook and one or more lessons. So for instance, in Module 1, Defining Leadership, we have a workbook for Module 1, as well as a Module 1, Lesson 1, Module 1, Lesson 2. So we have 2 video lessons as well as a workbook in Module 1. If we then just look down a little further and we look at Module 2, the behaviours and characteristics of leaders, once again we have a workbook for Module 2 as well as 1, 2, 3 or 4 video lessons for Module 2. Looking at Module 3, once again we have a workbook for Module 3 as well as 1, 2, 3, 4 video lessons for Module 3. Module 4, Leadership Beyond School, we have a workbook for Module 4 as well as 1, 2, 3, 4 video lessons. And in Module 5, Managing Friendships, Peers and Leadership, we have the workbook again just for that module, Module 5, as well as Video Lesson 1, Video Lesson 2 and Lesson 3. In addition to the modules and video lessons, we have a range of resources that are also available for the students to download, access and use. What we have here is Resource 1, a series of inspiring leadership quotes. We also have a case study and a case study workbook available. We have the Leadership Journal, which may not be familiar to you yet, but is explored in one of the modules in the program. And we also have a template for a leadership agreement. Again, something that would not be familiar to you right now, but is once you undertake the program, as it's all explained in one of the modules. So just scrolling back up to the top, again, what it will always indicate when you log into your course curriculum is to start the next lecture. We call it a workbook or a lesson. So whatever is next in line, according to this layout here, will be indicated as that is the next item that's due, and they'll call it a next lecture. So even though it calls it start the next lecture is the workbook for Module 1. And it says download this before starting lessons. What we have here is the workbook for Module 1. What we can do is simply download that to our computer, and we can either print it out once we've downloaded it to our computer, or we can save it to our computer and complete it and fill it in as a fillable PDF document. The way to access this workbook is to the right of the screen. It indicates a start button. When you click on that, it will either immediately take you to the PDF download, or if you click on this start button next to the video lesson, it'll take you immediately to the video lesson. So let's have a quick look at what will happen when you open up the workbook. So if I click start, it will then access the workbook and it will take me to the document that is the workbook for Module 1. So as you can see here is the workbook, Module 1, Defining Leadership, some copyright information, a guide to using the workbook, and then straight into the note-taking area. Now once the notes have been completed, and we provide several pages of those, the student is then invited to start completing the activities for Module 1. This one workbook will cover all of the video lessons for the module, so they need to complete all of these activities in order to satisfactorily complete the module. As I mentioned, you have a number of options to downloading this particular workbook. If you just scroll the sidebar down to below the document that appears on your screen, you'll see that there is a paperclip symbol and the document name attached. What you can do here is click on that, and that will invite you to download the document to your computer, where again you can either print it out or save it to your computer and fill it out as a fillable PDF document, which avoids the need for any printing whatsoever. So what we have there is the workbook for Module 1. Once you have downloaded the workbook, it will then give you a percentage of the completion rate of the program. Even though you haven't necessarily finished all of the lessons yet, nor completed all of the activities, you have undertaken 4% of the course just by simply downloading the workbook. What we then are able to do is to move in to the first video lesson. So once you have downloaded the workbook, it's then time to start video lesson 1. And if I just click on that video lesson, it is going to take me to the video lesson and invite me to commence playing it. I click on this particular button, and it is now going to take me through the whole video lesson, including the audio, so that you can take your notes and add them to your particular workbook. While the video lesson is playing, you are able to change the volume levels. You can make it full screen if you wish, and you can pause the video lesson at any particular time. So what we've done is we've shown you how to access the workbook as well as the video lesson, and the same process applies with each component of the curriculum. So you go through exactly the same process for Module 2, where you'll download the workbook, save it to your computer, and either again print it out or use it on your computer as a fillable PDF, as well as then work through each of the video lessons. Now you'll notice at the side to each video lesson there is a number in brackets. This is the duration of the video lesson. So video lesson 1 in Module 2 goes for 7 minutes and 17 seconds. Lesson 2 goes for 5.5 minutes, a little over 5 minutes for lesson 3, and a very long video lesson, What Makes a Leader, because there is so much content in that lesson, goes for almost 17 minutes. So what you need to do is allow enough time for you to work through the video lesson. Once you have completed the video lesson, your completion rate will be increased accordingly as you progress closer and closer to being 100% complete. So that brings us to a close of this video. I trust that you found it useful, so you've got a bit of an idea of how to navigate around the course curriculum of the Student Leadership Development Program. And I hope it's enough to inspire you to want to join us for this program. Thanks very much, and have a great day.